Hello everyone. So today we are going to work on this press and hold button to activate. So instead of just directly clicking to activate this skill, I have to press and hold. So you can see only if I click this all the way, the skill is activated. So now here, if I go to the second one, this is still here. If I release it in the middle, the button press event is not calling. If I press it all the way, the skill is activated. So even though I'm doing this on my RPG series, you can use this press and hold button to on any context. I will make it generic enough so that you can use in any of your projects, and I will make it clear how to use this in any context. So yeah, and as you can see here, now the button is deactivated because we don't have any enough skill points. So we are going to implement activate deactivate parts as well. Okay, so yeah, this is what we are going to work on today. And before we get started, let me quickly remind you that you can download the project files of this project and all of the thousands of projects I have done from my Patreon page. Once you become a member, you can access anything without any limits, so feel free to check it out. And here is the full playlist of action RPG with gameplay ability system series. You can follow these episodes and implement everything you see here by yourself. So I'll leave the link to that also in the description. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is let's create a new user interface widget blueprint. Use a widget. I'll call this WDG fill button. Now here, I'll add a regular button. Just copy this button. It's already a variable. And then background color, I'll set it to black. And under this, I'll add a border. This border is what's going to be the filling. What's going to have the filling. Okay, like this. And inside that, let's add the text. Whatever the text of the button. Content color. Something like this so that we can see. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna make a new material. Set. I'll call it M fill. Yeah. And change this material domain to user interface and make it translucent. So final color, let's promote this to a parameter, and let's have white for this, and a new scalar parameter called %. This will define the fill amount. To test this, I'll start with 0.5. So I'm gonna get the text coordinate, x coordinate, by doing a component mask. So this will give us the x coordinate, and if the x coordinate is less than whatever this %, I will fill it, otherwise I will leave it empty using the opacity. So here, if A and B compare, if this is larger than constant, if A is larger than B, it needs to be, say, 0.5. If it is less than or equal to, make it fit. Now, if I use this as the opacity, now you see half of it is filled, half of it is empty. So you can see now as I change this, or not this, as I change the percent value, you see the filled amount changes. So make it 1, it's fully filled. I'll make it 0 by default. No, I'll leave it 1.5 for now so that we can see the color difference, how it's gonna be in the button. Okay. Now I'll assign this MUI fill to this background border. Here you see this is the filled area. So this looks better. Okay. All right. Now I'll call this fill border. And in the button, now on pressed on released. So when we press the button, let's add a variable holding. I'll make this variable holding to true. Set get, not get, set. And when I release, I'll make it false. And here, set. A new variable called percent. I'll set the 0. Maybe we should do it before. And when I release, now before that, get some space here. If we are holding, as long I'll increase this percent value. So set percent. So I'll basically increment this using this. Get the percent value. And some multiplication of delta time. Let's start with 1 and set it to percent. And I'll make sure that this is clamped between 0 and 1. And also, now that I noticed it, here also I'll clamp it just to be safe between 0 and 1. Right, and then get the fill border, get dynamic material, and set scalar parameter value. Parameter we need to change is percent, and we can use this percent value. from a list of function. Okay. Because we might need to call this when we release the button as well. Okay, and here, if my percent value is equal to 1, if this is equal to 1, now we need some event that calls so when the button is fully filled. So here I'll add event dispatcher on Widget. I'll add a do once node to avoid calling this again and again, and call on it. Okay. Now, if I release the button before we go to full 1, before we fully fill the button, I need to reset the filled amount. So here percent if bit is less than 1, I'll set percent back to 0 and call this update. Okay, now to test this, I'm gonna use this in my skill tree, and the skill tree details panel. Yeah. So I want to use this for my activate button in place of activate button. So right now I'm using the activate button. Okay, here. Let me this activate point activate, and here let's add fill button like this. By default you see half full, we can change it, and also let's match this font. Copy the font, text, paste it, fine. Now the fonts does match, and also I need a way to change this text. So the full button, and then in the pre-construct, the text this to go very in text and make it public so that that's some default value. This button name, but I want to say activate. All right. And then this also needs to have an outline as well, similar to this. So outline comes from this, from outline setting. Okay. It should render as box. So we get the outline settings, paste. Okay, now we should have outline. Yeah, we do have outline. Okay, before we connect in the functionality, let me just quickly check if it is working as I intended. Yeah, it does. See? It is working. Nice. So now we can get rid of this. Before that, let's see. Let's give this a name. Fill is this used here? Oh, we need a way to enable and disable. But how do I do that? Well, here we can use this. We can get the come to this part later. Let me disconnect it for now and get rid of this activate button. And it is also used in here. So I'll also add on construct event. I'll get the fill button activate and bind to on filled. Let's bind this activate to on filled. Okay, and then let's actually we need to fix this issue. So instead of this one, we can get the fill button and get button. Just use it like this. Okay, now let's go here. This is not working. Activate is not working. You see, it's disabled because we don't have enough skill points. Now go back here, manually give some skill points. Now you see here, we have 2 skill points. Go back to the skill tree and refresh. So if I click, you see skill points reduced, my skill is activated. Okay, one more thing. We need to make this 0 by default. Oh, sorry, not that. The percent should be 0. And now everything will be good event here. So let's add a custom event reset, which basically should they do this. We need to reset the filled amount back to 0, which I do here, and then we need to reset this to 1. And so the reason to do this is if when I have to reuse the same window here again, when I have to reuse the same window here, let me activate this once, and then if I want to activate the next one, this is already activated, and the onActivate event dispatcher is not firing again. So here in the skill details panel, when I initialize data, we need to call reset. Now I will be able to use it more than once. We don't have skill points, so we want some. Activated. And activated. Right. That's all. Alright, so yeah, thanks for watching, and as always, updated project files will be available here for download in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.